Welcome back. This is Adwukta, and we are doing Mage for the Scholomance Academy card valuation stream.
Yes. Look, Mage, cast spells. They're one of the classes in which they can actually sort of play off the board, just because they have a lot of things that are great defensive tools, and they can have many ways of keeping on generating more spells to be defensive as well. So if you like that playstyle, well, Mage Blizzard is going to give you more tools to do that annoying playstyle. Let's start off with
The best card.
best card. It is Firebrand. Firebrand is a 3-mana, 3/4 common card. You are not giving up any stats. 3-mana, 3/4. Spellburst. Deal 4 damage randomly split among all enemy minions. There's not even a chance to go face, which I know some of you guys would be like, well, Smork, want to go face.
Yeah.
This is better. This is so much better than giving it the ability to go face and ruin your ability to just like remove their minions. This is stupid. This thing is so stupid. That's all I'm gonna say. It's so freaking dumb.
I don't think we need to analyze it for the stupidness. It's like that Paladin card, but this one doesn't give you an 8/8, so it's not rated a 240 point card or whatever the hell that card is. 260? I don't even know. But yeah, what's good about this card for Mage is that it's a common. All the other top cards that you've seen, they were not common. So Demon Hunter had a common, and then Mage has this common. It's really high. This is the best card of Mage. 185. Power of Creation is a 185. Rolling Fireball is a 181. Puzzle Box is a 166. Like, this is really insanely good. This card should not exist.
Like, speaks to how many spells mages have access to.
Yeah.
Like, your ability to trigger this is pretty freaking high. And the payoff is just so huge. 4 damage. This thing is going to be supremely annoying. It's a common, so you're if things go the way we think it will go, mages will have easy access to this card.
Yeah, you'll be offered like, I don't know, 2 of these per run because there's the offering bonus, maybe 1.5. Like, it's a staple. You're going to see this.
Yeah, you should expect 2 in every single deck, just because it's an auto pick. It is an auto pick. Okay, next we have an epic spell, so you probably won't see this that often, but it's Combustion. 3 mana, deal 4 damage to a minion. Any excess damages both neighbors. So, for example, this is a 177. So how this works is if you target the middle minion, if you deal 4 damage to it, well, that's it. It doesn't deal any damage to its neighbors. If you're targeting a 2/1, that means you only deal 1 damage. So there's 3 excess damage. That means that 3 excess damage goes to both sides.
That means it gets doubled.
Yeah. So this is a rolling fireball situation in which you're dealing 8 damage and it just keeps on rolling. No. Whatever excess damage it gets, it'll go and sort of like shockwave or whatever. It'll hit both of the adjacent minions. So
if you ever have 3 minions on the board, you are the opposite of facing rogue if you are facing mage now. You need to put your strong minion in the middle. You cannot put weak minions in the middle. Definitely not anything that is like below 4 health already. Because you can't do anything about it. And this is what you do when you use this card, right? You hit that middle minion first, whatever it is, until you get it below 4 health. And then you use this one, and it duplicates it. So it's an insane spell. That's why it's a 177. Like, if it were just a Shadow Bolt, it'd be like, 110 in Mage or something. Maybe, like, it would not be that good. But this is a board clear. It's awkward to use board clear, but it's a very powerful for its cost board clear.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Next up, we have
Brain freeze.
Okay, we talked about Brain Freeze and Rogue. It's freeze a minion for 1 mana. Combo also deal 3 damage to it. And 1 mana, 3 damage. Priest can just like do that now. So it's not like the best, but it's still good. It's better than what you normally get. You normally get 2 damage. And you have that little like extra option to like freeze stuff. So Brain Freeze is 131. It's quite high. Next we have Devolving Missiles. You want to take this one?
Yeah, so Devolving Missiles, it's a 130. This is also something we excluded.
The algorithm has no idea how to do this.
So this Devolving Missiles comes from, once again, the mind of Merps. Okay, it's a score, and we try to tell you guys this as well because it doesn't happen very often. That we're just sort of like giving a score that obviously I try to put a lot of thought into it. But this is one of those things in which, if you want to know my thought process, first of all, let's just read it. Devolving Missiles, 1 mana. It's an epic spell. Shoot 3 missiles at random enemy minions that transform them into ones that cost 1 less. So what it does is if there's only 1 minion, it'll just keep on hitting that one and keep on devolving it. If there's multiple minions, well, it's random which ones it hits. A couple things hold it back from being amazing, and that's one of them. If there are multiple minions, well, it's hard for you to exactly tell. But devolving is pretty good because lots of times if you are using it, you're using it as something that is a good whatever X drop. And by devolving it, even just once, you're most of the time like taking away more than just +1/+1. And then after that, it's random, but after that it'll be like +1/+1, kind of on average. And you're just getting a lot for 1 mana, even if you just think of it as, oh, I'm getting -3/-3 for 1 mana. That's pretty good. That's like pretty freaking good. It's just the high roll / low roll / I don't exactly know what's going to happen potential that keeps it from being that much higher.
So here's what I don't like about this card. Because it's like Devolve, right? Devolve is a 2 mana card that devolves everything. And my issue with Devolve was always like, I can't use the card. Why? Because someone on the board is a 5 mana 2/2. Whether because they've been like, they had a really good battle cry, or it's because they've like been hurt a lot. And then you can't devolve it. Because if you devolve it, you're actually making it better. And Devolving Missiles doesn't really solve that problem because it's random, the minion. So if you can't remove that minion off the board first, you run a huge risk casting Devolving Missiles.
So, yeah, once again, for 1 mana, like the effect is quite good. I like it. I think it's definitely got a lot of, a lot of potential as well. And one of the things that is really, really useful is this is a good way of getting rid of something in the early game, in which if they play a 3-drop, you know what's going to happen. It's going to turn it into like a Desk Imp or a Wisp, right? It's going to turn the 3-drop
into... You're going to polymorph it. It's a 1 mana polymorph.
Yeah, it's a 1 mana polymorph. That's pretty good. That's like a pretty good thing. And for the early game, sometimes that's exactly what you want. Because as we've seen, there are some smaller cards that are that you really want to remove. And for a 4 mana card, you turn it into a 1 mana card. And yeah, there's 1 mana cards with effects, but you kind of know the known universe of those. And for bigger cards, it's just like, all right, even if I'm just getting like a -3/-3 on average, that is also pretty good with it. And the penalty is really just like, I don't exactly know what I'm getting. The bigger the minion is, I don't exactly know what I'm getting. And this is just 1 minion. And if it's multiple minions, I really have no idea what I'm getting.
I don't think this is a problem when it's 1 minion. It's when it's multiple minions that it's like so hard to use.
It is problematic, right? But if you look at the amount of times that a 1 mana card is just like not great, well, one mana cards a lot of times tend to not be great in some situations. So I think it's a 130. It's pretty good. It's like Frostbolt levels of good, Messenger Ravens levels of good, which means it's pretty freaking good. So as you can see, I'm like high on this card.
All right. Next, we have Primordial Studies. This one is a 1 mana card. Discover a spell damage minion. Your next one costs 1 less. Normally these are not this high, but this is Mage. You have a lot of things that synergize with spell damage. So this is a little bit higher. So yeah. I don't know, there's not much to say about it.
Not much to say about it.
Alright, next is Wormweaver. 5 mana, 3/6. Spellburst, summon 2/1/3 mana worms. Mana worms are good. This card is already, like, it's quite understated, but you kind of just play it when you want the Spellburst. And you're Mage. You're one of the few classes that has, like, a pretty consistent way to get Spellburst to trigger.
So think about it this way. 5 mana 3/6s suck. 5 mana 3/6 is not good. So the fact that it's this high means that we give a lot of credit to Mage for being able to trigger Spellburst or any sort of Spellburst. And the fact that like 2 mana worms are pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people might think it's like higher or lower. I think this is kind of just the sweet spot of 127.
It's a bucket of stats.
It's a ton of stats. It is a ton of stats.
All right. Next up, you have Wand Thief at 114. We're dropping a lot. Mage is discovering mage spells. Not as cool as Rogue's discovering mage spells, but whatever.
Yep. Then we have Lab Partner at a 106. It's a 1 mana 1/3 spell damage +1. You get a ton of bang for your buck for a 1-drop, but at the end of the day, it's a 1-drop. Yeah, this is also something that you can just kind of hold on to, and if you're in the mid game and you really don't need the 1/3 body, you can just say, all right, I'm just going to hold this as spell damage, and anytime I want to play a spell, I'm just going to do this instead. Or like, I'm going to play this and then I'm going to play the spell.
Yup. Now you go down and you get Trick Totem 99. This is below the average card in your deck. It's a 2 mana 0/3 totem. It's shared with Shaman, obviously. At the end of your turn, cast a random spell that costs 3 or less.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about it. It's not a good card, okay? So 99, once again, the centering, if you want to think about it, the average card that you draft is going to be a 120. So Trick Totem is a 99. It's not great. I think some people might think it might even be lower. The random spells are not as bad as you think they are. You also don't want to be so pessimistic and be like, holy shit, it's going to screw me every single time. No. And it also presents
like 75% of spells are not possible to screw you.
Yeah. So it's okay-ish. And you know how much we / our system does not love variance, but this isn't like huge variance either. You could potentially lose the game off this. You could, but on average, it's a positive. So,
all right. Next, Potion of Illusion again. We talked about it in Rogue. It's not particularly different in Mage. Moving on. Is that it? No, we have Cram Session. Okay, so then finally you have a terrible Mage spell. It is 58. It's 2 mana, draw a card, improved by spell damage. So 2 mana, draw a card is terrible. There's not that much spell damage in the game. They try to add a couple of Mage, and they're like, okay. But then you have to combo it just to do 2 mana to like draw 2 cards. You might as well just pay the 3 mana to draw your 2 cards. And you're very rarely going to get this to like draw 3 cards.
It's bad.
Yeah. Just don't invest in this. You have to have a lot of spell damage cards to make this like a consideration in your drafting.
Yep. Okay. Let's go to legendaries.
Yeah, let's go to legendaries. I don't know if there's much to say about Mage. Mage seems to have just gotten a bunch of like pretty average, pretty okay kind of like, cards that you'll play and will do normal Mage things. Because this entire like Mage is the neutral class in this set. Scholomance Academy is a Mage set. So Mage is your neutral class, right? You have your spell damage, you want to play spells, you get some extra spells, you get some minions that use spells, they all do some damage. It's pretty normal. And then you have Firebrand. That's like, hey, by the way, we're in this meta where we print super overpowered cards for classes. So we're going to get a little for you too. So that's where Mage is. I don't think there's anything. Like, it'll be fine. It's not a bad class, and it's not like a super great class in this meta either. I think a lot of people will gravitate towards Mage because it feels comfortable to play and it really fits the theme.
Okay. From legendaries, we have the first card is Mozaki Master Duelist. 5 mana, 3/8 minion. After you cast a spell, gain spell damage +1.
You're not casting that many spells.
You're not casting that many spells. All right. You're not just gonna be fleeing an amazing amount of spells. And then also the payoff after that, spell damage plus, it's not the biggest freaking payoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're looking at this and really you're trying to get some sort of like stupid pop-off potential. It's not there in Arena. And a 5 mana, 3/8, you need a little bit more attack. Like, yeah the 8 health is good, but
it's the correct number of stats.
Yeah. It's not just about total number of stats. It's about the combination.
Yeah.
So it doesn't exactly work out.
Yeah, like this trades with a 4/4. That's not good.
That's really the problem with it. Okay. Next we have Roz Frost Whisper. It's a 5 mana 3/6, so a little bit understated, but at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Their face as well. Improved by spell damage. So look, you don't get spell damage very often. You just don't, right? But is this good enough even without it? Yes, it's insane, right? We've seen this before in Warlock. The Despicable Dreadlord, right? So we've seen that, and the Despicable Dreadlord didn't even go face. This is a 183. And once again, like 183 is amazing. 183 is really, 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 really freaking good. Let's not just be jaded by really high, other really high scores. So this is insane. It's a super premium, and I think everyone recognizes that. Now, after I say let's not be jaded, once again, we're talking about Jandis Barrov.
We talked about it before. Mage, Rogue. Yeah, whatever.
Too much stats.
Too much stats. Like, they tried to make this card fun, but they didn't need to. It was just too much stats. It's going to be insane. Whether you pick stuff, or they pick stuff, or they see that it has 1 health, or they don't see that it has 1 health. Like, that's not actually adding that much value to this whole card. This card is mostly just a bag of stats.
Bag of stats. Okay, that's it.
That's Mage. Let's move on. It's 2:18 a.m. We are not going to be done with this until 3 a.m. Let's give some shout-outs.
Shaman next. But once again, okay, thank you to our Patreons. Nordosh, Cheng Yin, Joel, Turnbull, RV Night Train, Yin, Eric L, 4P, and also Brand New. Thank you guys. And definitely especially thank you to 4P, Brand New, for dealing with us. Thank you to ZD Man for working extraordinarily hard and also staying up and being just a total pro and answering people's questions right now. A lot of people are asking him questions, and I think it just really adds to the experience, the fact that he is able to be here and give a little bit of background on sort of, it's like, oh, here's something unique about the way that this card is scored. Here's some difficulties we ran into, and then just giving live updates. I think it really
and fixing cards like on the spot. Like
Yeah.
we literally go like, yeah, we think this card should be a little bit higher, and like 5 minutes later, he's like, oh yeah, here's a bug, fixed it.
Yeah.
Is it better now? It's like yes.
So huge shout out to ZD Man for not only all the work that he has done previously, but also staying with us for this and helping out. So
You know what's triggering me right now?
what?
Khadgar is in the middle of the screen,
Oh,
and we rated him a 104.
well, that's awkward. All right.
All right, we'll see you guys next for Shaman. Bye.